You don't want Amir trying to hurdle a lot of guys. The only good hurdler on the team is really TJ.
Yeah, up to this part, yeah, we want our guys to keep their feet on the ground for sure. But obviously people look at Amir, and obviously he got the accolades and the awards to show a lot of his production, especially at the return game. My hat's off to him. He's come a long way. Like you said, he's come a long way. Not only physically what we see on the field, but what people don't see behind the scenes, just the maturity of handling the day-to-day operation, the boring part, the process, the meetings, the walkthroughs, all that stuff that it takes a while for a young man to come out of high school where, maybe it wasn't detailed this much, or maybe he wasn't coached the way we coach here, and he wasn't asked to do certain things. And now we're asking a young man who, mind you, didn't get a chance to redshirt.
Right.
He came right in and played right away.
Right.
And that's asking a lot. So he has come a long way. Has he arrived yet? No, but not by any means. But is he on the right track? Absolutely. And then Brandon Smith, obviously he's a guy that when he walks in the room, the eyes perk up like, oh, this guy looks like a Big Ten player and all that good stuff.
Right.
But once again, it's not just about being the biggest and the fastest and the strongest. There's obviously a lot of detail, there's a lot of fundamentals, a lot of technique that goes into this level of play. And you were the biggest, fastest, and strongest at your high school, but guess what? At this level, everybody was the biggest, fastest, strongest in not only their high school, but probably their county, and a lot of times even in their state. So now he has to understand that it takes a process, it takes a day-to-day operation of focusing on the fundamentals, being brilliant at the basics, and then applying that on the playing field. And he has done that. Once again, has he arrived? Absolutely not. But I think you hit it on the head. We were starting to see some of the benefits of that hard work behind the scenes starting to show up on game day when the lights are on.
He really seemed to really spike up his physical game. I think in the first game, forced to the line, ended up getting an interception kind of against Northern Illinois. He didn't make that mistake again.
No question.
He grew up a little bit, a lot of it this year, I think.
No question. Brandon's a guy that, going all the way back, I'll never forget our first day of pads with him 2 training camps ago. Back in 2017, we have a drill called the blocks drill, and he wasn't quite knowing what to expect. This is his first ever drill in full pads going against the DB. And, blocks drill is pretty competitive. And let's just say it wasn't his best outing.
Okay.
Well, he was obviously, it was clear to see that he was not only let down by himself, but he was also embarrassed by his performance. Well, guess what? The very next day he came out and it was totally the opposite.
Yeah.
And from that point on, I saw something in that young man that I'll never forget, and I told him that after what you just referred to, the NIU game.
Right.
Because he was down in the dumps a little bit, had a hang dog. He knew that he didn't perform his best and all that. And I said, remember back when that first blocks drill? Remember back when you didn't do as well as you thought and you were embarrassed? I said, what did you do the next time you had an opportunity? I said, I competed and I won. I said, exactly. I know you're going to do the same thing next opportunity. And guess what? It showed up. It showed up in the very next game, and that's just the type of young man he is. Just the type of young man. He's going to learn from his mistakes. He's going to come back even stronger next time.
And those are things you really can't find out during recruiting camp. You got to see it.
Absolutely. And it comes with, we do our research the best we can in recruiting and try to find out what kind of young man he is, what kind of competitive edge, what kind of love for the game he has. But you're exactly right. Until you get a young man in your building where you're face-to-face, you're coaching this guy hard every day, and you're seeing how he responds to that coaching and adversity, then you know what you're going to get on the playing field on Saturday. And like I said, from that first opportunity, when I saw that in the blocks drill in that first day of training camp, full pass, I was like, all right, we got something. We got a competitor here.
So with that combo of those guys coming back when they saw, you got to be pretty excited about the potential here.
Absolutely. I mean,
with everybody, but those two in particular.
Absolutely, and you hit on the head. The whole room as a whole, I'm very excited about. Obviously Brandon and Amir, we're going to lean on those guys to be the somewhat pillars of the room because they have the most experience. Right? Let's just call it what it is. They're the most experienced guys coming back with game reps. But as a whole, you look at guys like Max Cooper, for example. He has game reps. Obviously, he didn't get to finish the season, but then Nico Reganey, Tyrone Tracy, and then some of those younger guys that are redshirted now. The potential for that room is huge. But like I remind those guys all the time, it's not about potential, right? It's about production, right? So when we get our chance to produce, when we get our chance to execute plays, we have to take advantage of it.
Brandon said